Stop everything. Because this isn't just another SEC matchup. This is a rivalry with fire. With history. With pride on the line. South Carolina has beaten LSU 17 straight times. 17. And now the question shaking women's college basketball is simple. Will Dawn Staley's squad make it 18? Or is this finally the night Kim Mulkey and the Tigers snap? You already know this one is personal. You've got elite recruits. You've got championship coaches. You've got packed arenas and pressure that feels like March in the middle of the season. Every possession is going to matter. Every run is going to feel like a statement. And when these two programs collide, it's never just about one game, it's about power. Is the throne still in Columbia? Or is Baton Rouge ready to flip the script? Before we break down the matchups, the X factors, and our full prediction, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your prediction in the comments right now. Is the streak ending at 17? Or are we witnessing 18 straight? Let's get into it. If you love rivalries, if you love elite coaching chess matches, if you love high-stakes sissy battles that feel like Final Four previews in February, then buckle up. Because the question hanging over women's college basketball right now is loud, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Will South Carolina beat LSU for the 18th straight time? This isn't just another conference matchup. This isn't just another ranked versus ranked showdown. This is Dawn Staley versus Kim Mulkey. This is culture versus culture. This is sustained dominance versus a program desperately trying to flip the narrative. And the pressure? It's building. For South Carolina, extending the streak to 18 would be more than a number. It would be proof that the standard hasn't slipped. It would be validation that reload beats rebuild. It would send a message to the entire country, the road still runs through Columbia. For LSU, this is personal. Because 17 straight losses in a rivalry doesn't sit quietly. It lingers in press conferences. It echoes in recruiting battles. It fuels off-season workouts. It becomes bulletin board material. It becomes identity. And that's why this matchup feels different. Let's rewind. Dawn Staley has built something that goes beyond talent. South Carolina doesn't just win, they suffocate. They defend in waves. They rotate bodies like a hockey line change. They rebound like every missed shot insulted them personally. Over the past several meetings, the pattern has been consistent. LSU enters confident. The crowd is loud. The stars are hyped. And then somewhere between the second and third quarter, South Carolina tightens the screws. Shots stop falling. Driving lanes disappear. Turnovers stack. Bench points explode. It's not flashy domination. It's disciplined domination. And that's the difference. Kim Mulkey has recruited elite talent. There's no debate about that. LSU has scoring. They have athleticism. They have players who can create off the bounce and heat up but beating South Carolina requires more than shot making. It requires composure. Because South Carolina forces you to play their pace. They turn the game into a half-court grind. They make every possession feel like it matters. They make you guard for 20 seconds. They test your conditioning. They test your patience. And patience is where LSU has struggled in this rivalry. When runs happen, South Carolina rarely panics. They don't rush shots. They don't abandon their sets. They don't get caught up in momentum swings. They respond. That's championship DNA. Now here's where things get interesting. LSU is not the same team from 2 seasons ago. They've added depth. They've added length. They've added players who aren't afraid of the moment. And Mulkey? She thrives when doubted. You better believe that locker room has talked about the streak. You better believe someone has said, why not us? Because streaks don't last forever. But here's the reality. To beat South Carolina, you must win the rebounding battle or at least neutralize it. You must take care of the ball. You must hit timely threes. And you must survive the fourth quarter defensive. That last part is where most teams fail. South Carolina in the final 5 minutes is different. They contest everything. They close harder. They communicate louder. They execute cleaner. They don't blink. So what would LSU need to flip the script? First, tempo control. If LSU can push in transition before South Carolina sets its defense, that changes everything. The Gamecocks are elite in the half-court. They are human in scramble situations. Second, foul pressure. If LSU can attack the rim and force key South Carolina bigs into early foul trouble, that shrinks the rotation and opens driving lanes. Third, emotional discipline. This cannot become a revenge game fueled only by adrenaline. It must be tactical. Now let's talk about the X factor. Bench production. South Carolina's depth has been the silent assassin in this rivalry. When starters sit, the level barely dips. That's demoralizing for opponents. LSU must win or at least break even in bench minutes. If that second unit gets outscored by double digits again, history will repeat. But let's be honest. South Carolina enters this game with something LSU doesn't have in this matchup: confidence backed by evidence. 17 straight wins aren't luck. Their structure. Their preparation. Their culture. And culture travels. Even in hostile arenas. Even when shots aren't. Even when runs happen. So here's the big question. Is this the year LSU finally breaks through? They absolutely have the talent to. They have shot creators. They have size. They have coaching pedigree. But talent hasn't been the separator in this series. Execution has. South Carolina wins ugly. They win tight. They win defensive. They win control. And until LSU proves they can match the late-game execution against this specific opponent, the edge stays with the game. Prediction time. Expect a close first half. Expect LSU to make runs. Expect the crowd to erupt. Expect momentum swings. But in the fourth, South Carolina's defense tightens. Rebounding margin shifts. A timely 3 drops. A critical turnover forces a timeout. And the streak reaches 18. Final projection: South Carolina 72, LSU 65. Competitive. Physical. Emotional. But controlled. Now here's the twist. If LSU jumps out early and forces South Carolina into a fast-paced game, everything changes. If the Tigers hit double-digit threes, everything changes. If foul trouble hits key Gamecock frontcourt players, everything changes. This game isn't a blowout prediction. It's a culture prediction. And right now, South Carolina's culture in this rivalry has been unshakable. 18 straight would send a loud message across the SEC: the throne is still occupied. But that's why we watch. Because one night can rewrite narrative. One night can snap streaks. One night can flip power dynamic. Will it happen? Our prediction says no. South Carolina extends it to 8. But if LSU wants to change the story, this is the moment. And moments like this are why women's college basketball is exploding nationally. Rivalry, personalities, elite coaching, high stakes. This isn't just a game. It's a statement opportunity. So when the ball tips, watch the rebounding. Watch the turnover margin. Watch the fourth quarter defensive intent. That's where the truth will be revealed. Will South Carolina beat LSU for the 18th straight? All signs point to yes. But in the SEC, nothing is guaranteed. And that's exactly why this showdown matters. And there you have it. History on the line. Pride on the line. The SEC spotlight burning bright. If South Carolina gets it done, that's 18 straight, a statement that the standard under Dawn Staley isn't slipping anytime soon. But if LSU finally breaks through? The entire balance of power in women's college basketball shifts overnight. That's what makes this rivalry different. It's not just about rankings. It's not just about talent. It's about legacy. Now I want to hear from you. Is the streak continuing? Or is this the night LSU flips the script? Drop your score predictions in the comments right now. I'm reading them. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another big game preview or post-game reaction. This rivalry isn't cooling off anytime soon. And neither are we. I'll see you in the next one.